right, let's see what we got today.
Azt, hogy én is kell, egy átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más csupán, egy elfojtott szó, de várom. Egy átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más csupán, egy elfojtott szó, de várom.
Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mix Academy. We're live, taking my man David Baltavari's song Dark Love to the finish line. We've been streaming this, got a couple of streams now with it. They'll be up for a little while, so if you want to check it out, definitely give those a look. I'll try to put a link there for you if you haven't seen those. But I've got some notes. We're going to kind of break those down. But first, if you're new to the Mix Academy, let me introduce myself. I'm David Glenn, pro mixer, over 4 billion streams, multi-platinum mixer. And we do it all. We've got a focus on modern worship, CCM, but then within that, gospel, and then pop, rock, hip-hop, R&B, everything, man. We mix it all, jazz, country, you name it. Today, we're taking on this pop song, like I said, and we got some bass automation to do. So let's get into it and see what we can make happen. So I hear this thing in my head with the bass at the hook, and let me so I created this bass distortion track. Let me solo the bass, what we got happening right now. So in solo, you can hear the distortion that I've added with Decapitator is swelling in. It's kind of giving a nice lift, but the thing is, in the track, it's not swelling up enough, right? And so I feel like we need to do some manual automation, maybe even draw it in, and we're going to try to make that really stand out. But first, let me show you. Here's the bass as it was sent to us. A couple of plugins here, but so that goes in my low end bus, and it obviously hits the 2-bus chain, but then with the processing, right on. And so you can feel that swelling up. Now, something to note, if you're listening, I have you an unadulterated signal coming from my 2-bus. So if you're listening back, you're not getting any of my headphone calibration or anything. You're getting my 2-bus, you're getting the mix, you're getting everything, except you're getting a clean signal. And why that's important is I was about to tell you how when you solo things and you use the plugin Gullfoss is going to react just to that thing that's been soloed. And so you really got to make sure you don't make final tweaks in solo. You can't hear that and then go in context and think that you're going to get the same response. You got to keep that in mind. So it's a little tricky, but the pros outweigh the cons for sure in my use this last year or so with it. So now let's check out the distortion track. Here's without it, and then I'll unmute it. Okay, so obviously we're getting all the bottom end that we slammed into it, but then now we're completely pulling out that distortion element that was in there and enhancing that. We got the plugins here to we could maybe break down if you guys want to see that. You know what? Speaking of which, let me see if anyone's hanging out with me. Come over here. Keep an eye on the comments. Yeah, I got a few people hanging out watching. What's up, guys? Appreciate it, man. Musictron, welcome back. And so this distortion here, what I want to do is write it. And so I'm thinking just the distortion track. We're going to go touch. And we're just going to kind of fill this one out, and let's see what we get. Probably copy from there. It's the same thing over and over. I was thinking it might be a little more creative than that, but that felt pretty good. Let's have this on, and then we'll take it off. We got to refine it, maybe even just draw it in now that I kind of see what's happening here. So that makes a big difference. However, now I'm hearing, I think I'm going to print this, and then what we're going to do is do like a tape stop for the last hit every 4 bars. So that's quite the commitment to make here. So what we're going to do first is see, am I on the grid? I'm on the grid. If you watch some of the other streams, I did not set the tempo for the session before I started mixing it, so I just kind of rocked that. But I think it was last night or this morning, I was going through and doing all the breaths and S's and manually. We'll show you some of that. I got a multi-band that I'm automating on some consonants and things that just were a little bit pointy. Yeah, so I think what's going to make sense is to commit this and then edit from there. But it should be on the grid now is what I was saying. So let's look at this first one. So we want it to swell about halfway through. And I mean, we can draw this in here. So let's go here. Let's undo everything we just did. We're going to throw a couple breakpoints in here. And then we're just going to swell this up. Yeah, I mean, right until the end there. Where was our... something like that. Let's see. Let's find the high point. So that's too much. So we can pull that back a few dB. This doesn't feel as good as the automation did. And we're going to start one before it, and we'll see if we can make this sound good. If not, we may just have to go back to manually writing it and then tweaking those. Nah, man, that's too much too. Okay, we're just going to write it. So I'm going to take one more pass, and then we'll copy paste it. I'll make you guys watch that whole thing. What's up? We got people hanging out. Musictron, what's your headphones EQ these days? So I'm using the Oratory 1990 preset from Oratory on Reddit. And so if you go to Reddit, Google Oratory 1990, it's in the preset name right here. And then you can find your preset. It's like SonarWorks, but it's free. There's a guy over there, whatever his real name is, but he has gone through, and I think he used the Harman target and created these custom profiles, and I used it. My man Joey Fernandez told me about it, and I just love it. Been doing that ever since. So that's what I'm using. It's actually free. You know, SonarWorks and all that other real phones and everything are good, but I just felt like they were kind of coloring the sound a bit much. David Baltavari is it's Cam Aaron Records. I love it. David, I learned so much from the past few sessions. I feel lucky to be your friend and someone. Hey, man, I really appreciate you. And, dude, thank you. Thank you so much, my brother, for the kind words. So this bass part, man, I think is going to feel so much better when we automate it and find the right. So let's try. We're going to pull this up, and let's just go for it manually here. Ez nem más csupán egy elfojtott szó, de várom. Egy átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más csupán egy elfojtott szó, de várom. Egy átkozott vágy. I'll tell you what, man, that feels so much better to me than what was happening with the other. So let's give it a listen. It looks pretty darn consistent. right there.
Ez nem más csupán átkozott vágy.
So right here. So there. Let's go find the one. There we go. Let's get that grid popping for us a little more. And then, why do I have 2 grid? What do we got going on, Pro Tools? What's happening here? Got like grid within the grid happening here. That's not cool. Oh, it must be a setting or something that I'm not on absolute grid or relative grid. I'm on absolute. I don't know. Let's see how the copy does. I think it's going to be a little janky. So let's go from the transient. Let's go from, oh, I can't do that. It doesn't recognize a transient. So let's commit everything. Now it recognizes. Okay, cool. There we go. And then from there, it's not catching that transient on the one either. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a marker there. And we're going to go transient for the start of it. Marker for that. Here, duplicate.
Átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más csupán egy elfojtott szó, de várom.
Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, cool. Now the question is, do we want that for the whole song?
Egy átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más csupán.
We have to have it for the full song, but maybe we let the last chorus have it the most. And so we'll let that one really sing for us. So those are all just half the pattern. We got a double chorus at the end. So we'll take it from the grid. And then, oh, nope, we're going to take it from there and then here on the grid. Zoomed in the wrong spot. There we go. I wanted to zoom in on the end. I'm all over the place. There we go. Bam. Copy that. And then now we're going to go to the one, transient, paste. Cool. And then is this a... Okay, cool. Now let's see, do we want to bring these down? I think we do, so that they don't...
Ez nem más csupán egy elfojtott szó, de várom. Egy átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más csupán egy elfojtott szó, de várom. Emlékszem, megláttam, rögtön megperzselt, ahogy rám nézett egyből, meg tetszett a tekintet, ami oly hideg mégis úgy éget, ahogy a vágyam kígyóként a fejemben tekerget, ami azóta megőrít, őrületbe kerget, nem érdekel az sem, ha egy
Yeah, man, I think that bass is rolling now. Let's, growling, I was going to say. I don't say rolling. What's up, Gabriel? Appreciate you hanging out, man. Dude, I saw you call in the Discord, man. Forgive me. I'll hit you back. Let me find the notes. Did I put them? I put them on this computer. Let's come over here. All right, so bass automation. I don't know, you guys hanging out in the chat, let me know, what do you think? If you're watching this back, let me know what you think in the comments. Is that bass automation working for you? I'm almost wondering if we need a little limiting or something to kind of grip it and make it feel just locked in. But for now, we're going to move on. My next note is the background vocals, the whisper section. And so we've got these cool whisper tracks. I used to do this all the time with rock stuff. And it's pretty cool to see it. I had these pretty wide and like full, and then I made the lead vocal more of a radio effect, a telephone kind of sound. And so let's take a listen to this section and see, do we like what's happening with the whispers? So for me, I like it, And I don't mind the dynamics of it, but I want to see if I can lock that in a little bit better and get it more consistent. And then just stacking plugins, man. Try to chase the sound that I hear in my head. But if you think about it, the Pro Q here is the telephone effect. That's what's going into the L1. And then here I want to shape what I'm hearing overall. If I go back into the Pro Q4, it's going to affect the signal going into the L1. And a lot of times I just think, man, let's just add another one. Get stacking plugins. If you got a powerful computer, you can handle it. But now I just want to find, there's like a resonance that I just want to pull back some here. I like the higher frequencies better. It sounds more like a whisper and not, it's like, psh, psh, you know, got the top end. So that sounds better to me. Let's check that note off. Got the background vocals. If you missed it yesterday, we showed the vocal line process. I mentioned that Waves has got a new tool. I think it's even built into, Sync VX, I think is what that one is. But I've been using Vocal Line 6 since it came out, and it was expensive, and they hooked me up, and I thought, man, I used to use this all the time. Let me start using it in mixing because no one's doing it nowadays. And so, I rock Vocal Line Pro, but I still need to check out Waves. But we went through, and all the lead parts, I have gone both on camera, I showed it, and then off camera, I did it for every phrase. And lots of little tweaks and edits to tighten those up. I also off camera, on camera I showed it, but then off camera I completed it, was the breath clip gain, the de-essing. We have de-essers, we have multiband, but I just felt like there's some consonants that were sharp, there were some S's and things that were harsh. And so I just went through every phrase, every syllable, and made sure that all the breaths and S's, you can see all the clip gain automation, were accounted for. And then I also have got some little character spots in the vocal. I think this is one where we have a consonant we're pulling forward. Let's check this out. This clip gain right here is what we're looking at. Right? We got to make sure that we get the articulation of the words. And so we have some Ks and some things that were too pointy. And that's what this Pro Q4 is here for. If we command control click on that, we'll see you can parts where I automated this on and off. And so right here I had an S or something that I felt like without this. Let's turn it off. Check this out. I'll like loop this phrase. Come on. Somebody give me a thumbs up or something for that one. That's so we're automating that on when the sibilants or consonants or whatever are a little bit what's the word for that? Pointy, transient heavy, bright, harsh, cutting, taking your head off, whatever you want to, however you want to describe it. I went through and I automated that for all those individual spots. This right here as well. Check this out. So we loop those. Yep. So major difference, softening that up as well. Gotta love the Swiss Army Pro Q4. And so you can see a few times throughout where that happened, automating that on and off. Next up, I also still need to remove the breaths from the background vocals. And then I already took care of these. Let's see, synth bass top isn't moving with the track. We fixed that. Vocal effects, they've got some ideas. I want to get this first mixed to the artist and let them tell me what they think. Falsetto to move around 45, I think we're good there. Help transitions hit harder, I did that. So we had some stereo bus automation. So all that's left on my notes is to listen before I bounce it. And then I'll also check it on buds. And then I also will listen in the car a lot of times as I'm running up to the store or driving through the mountains or getting some fresh air. So what we're going to do is play it from the top. We're going to keep an eye on our tonal balance control here and see I've got the hip hop preset pulled up. Could just as easily switch this over to pop and probably be cool there. I like a lot of low end, and so I like to make sure I'm not overextending what heavy low end genres would. And so that's why that's pulled up like that under hip hop. But let's take a listen from the top. You guys can hear it. Let me know in the comments if you guys hear anything. Obviously, the producer's in the comments, so if he points anything out, we're going to prioritize those notes. But here we go. Let's take a listen.
Ahogy rám nézett, egyből megtetszett a tekintet, ami oly hideg mégis úgy éget, ahogy a vágyam kígyóként a fejemben tekerget, ami azóta megőrít, őrületbe kerget. Nem érdekel az sem, ha egy éjszakára kellek. Hadd érezzem egyszer, hogy a mellkasodon fekszem. Hadd lássam a szemedben azt, hogy én is kellek. Egy átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más, csupán egy elfojtott szó, de várom. Egy átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más, csupán egy elfojtott szó, de várom.
A quick thought here. I want to bring out the end of her performance there. Yeah.
Kergetem a vágyam, veled fekszem be az ágyba. Nézem, ahogy alszol a tegnapból a...
I don't know how I feel about this section. I've got her with the telephone vocal vibe, but then the guitar is full-bodied. I don't know. Help me out. We only got a few people hanging out in the chat, but let me know. Do you think we should go for a cohesive sound there? Should the guitar match the vocal, or should we leave the guitar full-bodied? Here's that section. Let me know what you think.
Kergetem a vágyam, veled fekszem be az ágyba. Nézem, ahogy alszol a tegnapból a mába. Csak peregnek a percek, miből órák lesznek. Összefonódott testek, izzadságcseppek.
Oh no, I think it sounds okay. Maybe it's not a full filter. Okay, let's throw, typically I have these two sections. It inserts A through E and then F through J. Sometimes I got a plug-in on things, sometimes I have 10. But if I have not used the right section of Pro Tools insert slots here, what I typically will do is reserve that for plugins that I'm going to automate. Not always, but like overall, like, you know, filtering and stuff like that, I'll leave that for towards the end of the chain or just that right column there. But let's see what we get here. So I'm thinking less lows, I'm thinking less top, just kind of thinking here for a minute. I don't want this, and we don't want too much of that. So probably pretty muddy, but let's hear that. off at the end there. Let's maybe not so muddy, but smaller. Does that sound better? Something like that. No comments. You guys hanging out with me. You gotta have an opinion, right? You gotta. Don't be shy. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna go for this, and then I think we're gonna slowly open all of them up. It's a little bit much for this, just this little part, but I think it deserves something unique here. So let's start with the EQ, and then maybe like a chamber or some type of verb to maybe a spring reverb might be cool on the guitar. So let's do this. Let's start with this off. Then we're gonna turn it on, enable it for just that section. It's off until it's not. And then now right there when she starts to, which is right here, I'm gonna put a marker so I know what I'm looking at. Cool. And that's when we're gonna start to open things up. So now we're gonna come in here, and for this guy, frequency gains, we're gonna go gain, enable, command control click, and from about here to here, we're gonna open things up. I don't know, is that? Well, we don't want to do that. We just want to go back to 0. There we go. Okay, and then probably the same here. Can you automate? That's for the frequency. Let's click that open. Can you? Yeah, you can automate the threshold. What do we want to automate? You know, maybe we leave that one alone. Let's come over here and keep it simple, keep it moving. Bam. Command control click, enable. There it is. Cool. And then here to here, back to 0-ish. So we just got a little ways to go there, barely moving. Okay. Same thing here. And then we're going to take this one, something like that. And then finally the third one. A little bit of automation. Let's see if we can't make this feel a little more awesome. Cool. Let's back that up. It's not amazing, but it changes it. It does something there. Let's try, do we have let's throw it to let's call it guitar spring. We'll go stereo. Probably end up collapsing it, but let's try this. All EFX. And then let's throw, let's go, I said spring. Let's go spring reverb, the black spring. You know, the waves one is probably pretty good. Let's try this one. I think I like twang the best. Let's see how it feels. felt that it was too much, and so I backed off the mix percentage. And then now what we want to do is just automate this on and off. Command Control. Why is it not? Oh, no, I don't. Not that. So the mute. There we go. Bam. So mute it. Command Control click. And now we're going to unmute it. I want to add the Lindell de-esser. We could just do it with a Pro Q. We'll do it here with a Pro Q, and I think...
Kergetem a vágyam, veled fekszem be az ágyba. Nézem, ahogy alszol a tegnapból a mába. Csak peregnek a percek, miből órák lesznek. Összefonódott testek, izzadságcseppek.
Tell you what, moving that guitar just off to the left really opened things up. That was nice. Okay, cool. So, any thoughts in the chat? No, it's a Sunday. It's not too many people hanging out, but I appreciate those of you who are here. I think, man, I'm going to listen from about halfway, and I'm going to call that good. Oh, man, a dead stop would be nasty right here. Is it the guitar? Do we get rid of the guitar there? Ooh, I don't know. Let's see. Fade might be. But the guitar stops. It's programmed to stop. It was performed to stop. Let's. Bro. Do we need to keep that going? So we have. I bet we need that dead stop on the effects. So it's on the last pull. So that's our stopping point. The kick is our there. So this space in here, what effects? So I'm looking for anything that's going to effects. So the fill comes in, I'm not worried about that. The swoosh comes in, not worried about that. Bass, everything's pretty, it's just the guitar there. I think is it. The whisper vocal, so maybe it's the tail end of the verb of that. Let me highlight that selection so I don't forget it. And we're going to call it delete space something, I don't know. You know what, maybe this goes bye-bye. Yeah, maybe we don't swoosh into it here. Maybe it's not loud enough. I'm going from wanting to delete it to make it louder. Welcome to my brain, everyone. Let's try much louder. Let's see. sounded nasty.
Átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Átkozott vágy, mi bennem.
That's getting lost.
Átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más csupán egy elfojtott szó. Egy átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol. Ez nem más csupán egy elfojtott szó. De várom. Egy nem tombol. Ez nem más csupán egy elfojtott szó. De várom. Egy átkozott vágy, mi bennem tombol.
Tell you what, man, I'm digging it. Let's see, I got the stereo bus automation. Yeah, and the dynamics kind of take care of themselves in the second part of the song. So, second half there. Okay, cool. I'll tell you what, man, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Gabriel, I appreciate you. David Baltavari and Musictron, man, you guys rock. Thanks for commenting. Don't forget, if you're watching back, if you haven't already, like, subscribe. You want to see more complete mixes, mix breakdowns, all this good stuff. Definitely like, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know you want to see it. And then if you want to get your hands on the multi-tracks, you want to get your hands on the actual files that I'm working on, doesn't matter what song, just about all of them are available inside the Mix Academy. Check out the links in the description. And then if you want to hit me up for some booking requests, check that out as well. And with that, I think we're just about wrapped up. Thanks so much, you guys, for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next one.